In this video, it's something that you've probably seen on this channel many times if you've been watching for a long time. It's an engine out on Elly and a different engine going in. It's not the first time it's happened. This engine is toast. The crankshaft is in very poor state. Anyone who watched my drive to Devon back in about March, that was, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was clattering horrifically, and when I came to service stations, actually slowed down, the oil light would come on. So it all points to absolutely knackered crankshaft. To do a bit of a recap on this engine, let's open up the bonnet and have a look at said engine. This engine is the one that went to Croatia, but the basic engine itself I have no idea about it at all. I got it with a 2CV. It came on a separate chassis. The engine had been wrapped in plastic. It had been left outside for I don't know how many years, but a great many. I took that engine out, dumped it in the back of my old garage, and it sat there for a few more years. And then we went to Croatia. We had an issue where the engine that was in at the time had pulled out a head stud. We discovered this with no time at all left until departure. So I grabbed that spare engine, chucked it in, and on the test drive I went and met a certain Miss Hubnut. But unfortunately Elly didn't like that and decided that she didn't like that engine. So me and my friend Colin ended up stripping this engine, taking the heads and barrels off the broken 652 and putting them on this. So it's a 652cc air-cooled flat twin, 50cc larger than stock. Unfortunately, and I probably didn't help myself by doing 80 miles an hour, genuine 80 miles an hour on the autobahns of Germany, that bottom end is not in very good shape and is now absolutely dead. So I mean, it still runs, but it clatters something horrible. The oil pressure is definitely not where it should be on these. These are not low oil pressure engines. So
also, it's blowing a gale.
It is blowing a gale today, just for added lols. And if that wasn't enough, next week is the NEC Classic Motor Show, and I would dearly love this car to be there. If this car doesn't make it, I do have a plan B in the form of Miss Daisy here.
Who seems to be a new darling of the channel.
Yeah, Miss Daisy is the plan B. So Tim at Cambrian Classics is going to be helping me get cars to the NEC this year. So will he be driving Miss Daisy, or will he be driving Elly? I'm not sure he's ever driven a 2CV before, so it'll be an experience for him either way. But yeah, that is my hope. And I've told Miss Hubnut that we can easily change a 2CV engine in one morning.
And then go for Victory Ledge.
Yeah, so that's the plan. So we'll better stop talking and get into it, really.
Hang on, for those that haven't been here before, and we're talking about the simplicity of this process.
Yes.
What does it look like?
Well, the engine starts here and is everything forward. The rest is gearbox. So we've got to take the air filter assembly off, probably take the bonnet off, which doesn't even need tools. Headlamp bar needs demounting, but I find it easier.
You said that was the most difficult thing.
Rather than undo all the wiring, I find it's actually easier just to pull it around the corner out the way. So we'll do that. We've got to disconnect electrics, disconnect the fuel lines, choke cable, throttle cable, and I think that's probably going to be about it. Disconnect the exhaust at the heat exchangers. So that isn't too difficult to do. We might remove the heat exchangers entirely. And then, yeah, engine out.
And if you hadn't got deja vu...
Has that engine got an alternator on it? It hasn't. Okay, so we'll need the alternator.
If you hadn't got deja vu already, this is a loaner engine.
It is.
So...
This is Daisy the engine, which is quite amusing. Belongs to Pete Sparrow. This is out of his 720 2CV, so is that 2 years ago now? I drove the 720. I think it must be.
Yeah, must
Crikey,
be at least.
how time flies. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely loved it. The long-term plan, I'm thinking that might be a nice idea, but we'll get to that another day.
Slight digression with regards to another long-term plan and why that's funny is the fact that we have most of a 2CV called Daisy.
So some of that pile there, some of these bits up here.
This box is there, I think they might be Daisy.
Yeah, I think some of those bits
but anyway, the 2CV was called Daisy. Yeah. Now she's calling to us to fix her because Miss Daisy has arrived.
Daisy.
And this is Daisy.
Yeah.
Oh no. So that the other Daisy has to live. Sorry, Elly, close your ears.
So this is just a bog standard 602. It hasn't done particularly high miles, but Pete took that engine out so we could put one of his 720s in, and that car is his daily driver now. This should be good to go. It's got electronic ignition on it already. Looks like it's got a brown cooling fan. They're obviously the coolest fans you can get.
They gave it a check over before it came.
Yeah, he was running on his little test bench. So that's the plan. Let's do this. Right, so stage one couldn't be simpler. We disconnect the windscreen washer pump. We release the bonnet catch. We will take that off in a moment. And we pull the bonnet off. There we go.
Now we've got to work out where to put these bits.
Yeah, that is one of the downsides. We could put it on this scrap altar over here, but still hasn't gone. There we go.
This is last calls for the alt-sit, folks. We have actually called categories about this one.
Yeah, the alt-sit has not been collected. We should probably disconnect the battery. There's going to be sparks. We're going near high voltage. So we'll disconnect that. Now we need 8 mils to get the sail panels off, and then we can get the wings off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so if we can find a driver for that, we're away. Really, we should have had a tool amnesty after failing on the Daihatsu. That's not an 8.
Failed.
That's a 7. Okay, where are the tools? Under these Berlingo headlamps, maybe? Could it be on this Fiat Multiplus sump? Or this Daihatsu Charade manifold? We really should have tied it up before starting this job. But that wouldn't be very Hubnut, would it?
That doesn't even account for the parts that are in our house.
We won't even talk about that.
Is that the damaged sump? No, that was the sump we got that wasn't the right sump, wasn't it?
It didn't seem to fit, no.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a refund because the people told us it was the right sump and we were doing it wrong.
I mean, it's a possibility, but no.
There is a possibility, yeah. Yeah, okay. We're going to have a bit of a tool amnesty. That should be first pass away. And indeed is. So it's about 10:30 at the moment. We've only been going for a few minutes.
But we got here much earlier, but we had to play a massive game of car Tetris.
Yeah, car Tetris again.
Yep. Which was interesting. It was interesting to see Chevy manoeuvrability versus Giselle manoeuvrability.
Yeah, that's Charade. That's some serious steering.
It was nifty. She was out and in, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Happy days.
We need to bear in mind, this is only your second engine swap.
Yep.
And you've never worked on a 2CV ever.
Nope.
I mean, you had done a lot of work on cars at all, really.
Yeah,
and there you were doing an engine swap on a Daihatsu.
It's all very new to me, but I am learning.
But the hope with this video is to prove just how much easier it is to do an engine swap on a 2CV compared to a Daihatsu.
I've still got a slight feeling of trepidation and fear.
But so far, I think we started the Daihatsu back in February.
Okay, so there is still a cable connected to the alternator.
Yeah, pull it off. Spade connector.
Pull it. Oh, yeah, there we go.
That's your exciter wire.
There we go. Oh, hello. Right.
So that tells the alternator to get excited. So one of the absolute joys of this job is you've got the air filter assembly and the actual gearbox mounting bolts, or nuts rather. They're on the same thread, but the 16 and 17 mil spanner size interchangeable for reasons only known to the French. And on one side I got a 17, the other side I got a 16. Can we find the 16? Can we?
Floof.
No. Hey, let's have a change of angle. It's now raining, which is why we've put Elly in front end rather than working down that end. By the way, beanie hats, calendars, mugs, stickers and more, all available at the Hubnut store.
2023 calendar is particularly nice, actually.
I'm going to start undoing those big nuts. Let's see if this one's actually a 17 or if this one's a 16 as well. Let's have a catch can. It's got various fluids in it, this catch can.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I think that's got coolant. I think it's got gearbox fluid in it as well.
It's better have petrol as well.
Oh, nice. I think it had a bit of that as well from somewhere. Someone would leak that.
Oh, there we go. Oh, lovely, all over my hand. But if we quickly pull this up here, then that won't draw fuel from the tank.
Smelly. Oh, where did that nut just go? In my hand. Right, where are we going to put it?
Just down in front of it.
Okay.
I think. Let's just move some stuff out the way so we're not tripping over stuff.
Going to be able to come in with an engine in front of her? She probably is she?
Yeah, I think so.
Yay.
Right, so we now got to try and wiggle the engine off the clutch, and then it should come forward.
So just to confirm to everybody, what's come off so that it comes out?
Carburetor disconnected. We've still got the fuel pump connected, but we've disconnected the fuel line down there. Disconnected all the wiring from the engine bay in total, and that's now attached to the headlamp bar. So, and cables. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So now, we're lifting it off the clutch. So how would you suggest to do that?
We sort of wiggle, grab hold of both the manifolds there if you can.
Yes. Okay.
And wiggle it and pull it forward. It doesn't really want to go, does it?
No, that feels...
Let's swap sides.
We haven't missed something, have we?
That's starting to come, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember what we haven't done. I need a trolley jack under the gearbox, block of wood, so we can support the gearbox. Obviously the only thing supporting the gearbox at the moment is the engine. Would you believe it? That block of wood was just outside.
Ha! Convenient.
Convenient indeed. Up off
You got to bear in mind with the
chassis.
comparison of the two. This engine bay, once you're stripped of it, is considerably bigger.
Yeah. There we go. You can see it. Yeah. So now the engine's floating.
Yep. That.
Oh, come on. That likes
Your
it there.
side is moving. My side not so much.
There we go.
There we go.
Pause that. Walk around the bumper.
Walk around the bumper. Okay.
I've got the engine.
I got a walking rod. Okay. And then to the floor.
To the floor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And down.
Oh.
There you go. That's the first time you've lifted an engine out of a car
Manually.
manually. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
So remember, lift with the legs as much as possible.
Yeah. I did my health and safety. Don't worry.
Onto the front bumper. Wait. Step in.
Yeah. Go round.
And then we've got to get these 4 points to line up.
Okay. Up and that way.
There we go.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm caught on a speed clip.
Yeah.
And now the difficult bit is trying to wiggle it home.
Oh, yeah. It's going.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's down
Yeah,
the
we're
bottom.
there.
Beautiful. Get the 17mm nuts. We'll do our own. So the engine crane just fell over and dented the crap out of that door. So that's great.
We do have other doors though.
Yeah, I do have other doors. Doesn't mean I wanted to fit them.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, the bodily destruction of Elly continues. Marvellous. Oh, poor Elly. At some point I'm going to have to bite the bullet for yet further bodywork on Elly.
Yes.
She's an absolute state. Bottom of the driver's door is hanging off. There's some bubbling in places there ought not to be bubbling. It's all bad really.
However, she is a car for which there are lots of parts available and she is eminently fixable.
Oh yeah, it makes her a lot better than another car I can think of.
Oh, vicious. I was trying to be supportive and you go attack my car. Of course, you wouldn't add another car to the collection that had similar situations.
Oh no, it'd be ridiculous to get another Daihatsu.
Crazy.
Oh hi!
Hi, Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy just gently watching what's going on with mild fear in her eyes. Oh, that's going in beautiful. Fuel electrics, away we go, brum. So we'll get this round the front again first of all.
Okey-doke.
There we go.
God, she really needs a deep clean. Like,
Oh, she needs so much, really.
yeah.
And let's try and work out what's going on with the wiring down here and how this relates to my wiring. We might have to call this for lunch and just say we're not quite going to get there.
Okay.
I was really hopeful we could just have at least a short fire up, but I can't make head and a tail of this.
They're different connections, aren't they?
Yeah, it's because Elly's wiring is unique. Well, what a difference a day makes. It is beautiful sunshine out there. We are back to get back on making Elly go. Yesterday, oh, because wiring.
No, because why are we so keen?
Oh yeah, I've booked Elly in for MOT tomorrow. So we better get her back together again. But we got 40'd yesterday because I bought more wire and then left it at home. And I've got to make a new section to go from the oil switch here to here, where the connector even came off in my hand. And we've got to make the power live. I don't think it is the power live. I don't know what that one is. We've got a connection there and a connector there. I need to work out which one is actually the ignition live. But I can't really do the electrics until we put the starter motor back on and the alternator back on, so all the wiring is back where it should be. We should probably fit the headlamp bar properly. The exhaust, let's go crazy. Let's actually fit the exhaust. I know normally I'd run it on open headers, but let's be kind to our neighbours and not do that this time. And yeah, we should be back up and running, ready for an MOT tomorrow. I think I've even got a stash of new fuel filters, so I can replace this exceedingly manky filter. I mean, it's the outside that's manky. I think the inside's all right.
I don't know. It's got kind of shadows.
Okay, maybe it's not good then. And yeah, so we should jump back into it. But yeah, yesterday I recorded an hour and 20 of footage, and we were here for about 2 hours in total, including having to shuffle the cars to begin with and then actually get started. So it was about
Maybe 3 hours.
No,
Including
genuinely, we got here about 10, just got after 10, and we left just after 12.
We got here at 20 to 10.
Did we? Okay, well we definitely weren't working on Elly until pretty much half
what
10.
I'm saying is we were probably here for about 3 hours, but there was a car Tetris involved.
Yeah, so yeah, once all that was out of the way, then we got on Elly. So it was under 2 hours to get to where we are now. And if the wiring wasn't such a mess, and it's just been hacked about, mostly by me, not entirely by me, but mostly by me over the years, yeah, we'd have been away. Because all we need to do is connect the electrics and the fuel pump, and we're good. Right, we'll jump into it then. I think I'm going to get the headlamp bar back on first of all, and then yeah, we'll crack on and get it all buttoned up. But I think we'll spare you the further misery and might even just go full on time lapse. Woo! Well, Miss Hubnut is fitting a new fuel filter. I'm on fans, but we've noticed a Sparrow modification here. 2 of the fan blades, or 3 actually, 3 fan blades have been removed, and this one even has a chunk out of it. That is one of his mods. You'll see the original fan has more on it. Pete rather, he's a huge exponent of overcooling on air-cooled engines. He says these are just as bad, but most of the time they overcool and they don't get the oil hot enough. So we've still got the oil cooler back here. We're not going to be doing much sitting in traffic. That can get the oil temperature up, and we're not likely anytime soon, certainly, to be driving anywhere particularly hot.
And it's been done in a very careful fashion. It's very balanced.
Yeah, and I trust Pete as well, because Pete races 2CVs. Pete reduces the cooling fins on his race 2CVs. So even racing them, driving them absolutely flat out, he manages not to cook engines. So yeah, we'll be sticking with that. I'm just fitting the fan belt. You can walk it out. You can bend the fan blades and get the fan off without having, or get the belt off rather, without having to remove the fan. So that's what I've been doing. Right, back to time lapsing. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Right, I think it's time for a proof of wiring concept. I think I've got it all wired up correct, but I don't know for sure. We definitely haven't got the exhaust on that side connected up yet. That's looking like it's going to be a world of pain, but I need to know if I'm on the right track here. Let's hop in, apply some handbrake, knock her into neutral, and I can't give her any choke because we haven't actually got any. Well, I'm hoping she won't actually run. What I want to see is the oil pressure light go out. There it is. So I have actually got it wired up right. Well, I left that camera running. Oh, I have. Hello. She should fully start. It'll be very loud though because that exhaust is actually on. But she's got to fill the fuel bowl up in the carburettor first. Doesn't sound like she's going to do that, does it? Maybe I have not got my ignition wires connected up correctly. I think now is the time to try and find a spark plug tester. So have we got spark? Yep, that's sparking beautifully. So we've got spark. It must just be a fuel thing. So we've got spark. Let's give her a squirt of carb cleaner. And stand clear. Stand clear. Oh, there you go, too much choke. It's a lovely sound, isn't it? But it runs.
Yes, it does.
So we've got proof of concept, and that means we can have a success lunch. Even though we had a success lunch yesterday, even though. Come on. Okay, throttle pedal sticking for some reason. Oh, that is stiff as hell. What's going on there? Oh, no, it is returning. It's just a sticky throttle there. Might have to go for the mild modification of putting the throttle return spring in a different place, but it did. But that now seems to be working. Cool, right, battery off.
Cool, right away.
Go and have lunch.
Okay, hang on.
Right then, I think we're ready for another run. Exhaust connected up. All should now be amazingly good. Check we're in neutral, yep. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? What a sweet little engine that is. Not quite enough choke, I'm going to suggest there. In fact, that's no choke. That's just a horn clonking, don't worry about that. Okay. That sounds beautiful. I'm officially doing the happy dance now. So there we go. Elly lives again. Really, really pleasing. Huge thanks to Pete Sparrow for loaning me this engine out of his own car. Albeit he's now got a very nice 720 in his car. And that is a tempting option. But we're back on standard 602. I'm going to see how that goes over the winter. And we'll make some big decisions next year. But yeah, hugely pleasing. You probably noticed the spares alt set has moved, but not gone. It was meant to get collected by someone. They said they were going to have it. I'm offering the car free, but after saying they were going to have it, they're now completely ghosting me, not responding to messages at all, which is awful, to be honest. Don't do that. Ghosting people is never nice. So yeah, that's really, really irritating. It might well be going to Tannig Royce, but lads at Tannig Royce will at least offer the opportunity for people to take spares off it, I imagine. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I shall say, don't forget you can buy Hubnut calendars. We're up here in the bedroom packing them right now. In fact, there is Elly taking pride of place and the good old sit. So yeah, they're available on the store, £9 each, or you'll be able to buy in person at the NEC, where I will obviously be able to sign them should you wish. We can sign them online as well. Just let us know in the special instructions if you want us to leave a message. But otherwise, we shall see you in a future video. Farewell. Almost the same as being there.